Welcome to another episode of Sideshow Black, where we get into like the title says, we get into things that says the no to vaccines, say no to government cheese. Uh, if you're in a financial position, say no to the government assistance. Uh, you shouldn't be relying on the government. You should be and relying on the Most High, God Himself. You shouldn't be relying on any other resources. But we're gonna get into it, and we're not gonna spend too much time in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it.
All these motherfuckers saying,
Yeah.
don't take away my black pussy.
Listen. What y'all don't know by now? Let me fix my stuff. I'm the only thing that's out here. I'm the only female that's out here with names, okay? Y'all done. Like, all that y'all been doing is done. I done came through and I'm finna push all the way through. Because what y'all don't understand is that it's me. The reason why y'all men don't come home at night and pool. For real. Like y'all gotta really open up your eyes and see, like, honey, it's no more of you laying up with him at night. It's no more phone all the time at night. It's no more that. Yeah, he'll come home to you once he's done with me. But when it's my time, it's my time, honey. Just chill. Cause I don't want your man for long. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I don't want him for long. Okay? Like, y'all females silly. Like, y'all need to grab y'all box the catalogs and kick the fuck back. Like,
Boy say he checking out booties, baby.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here
here because you know something. What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. There's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Matrix. Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Peace, 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 peace. It's the Thinking Man's Templar once again. When we say one red pill life, 5 ways a million. Blue pill lives, some of the soldiers that come in from the war, drop their golden swords. Conversations with like-minded men, and indeed, shout out to all the subscribers. One love to you, gentlemen. Don't forget to subscribe to the Thinking Man Live page. I put a link in the description. I'm gonna start doing my live stream soon. I wanted to get the numbers up so we can have a more conversation. You gentlemen, go ahead, man. Once you get in there, link and subscribe if you haven't always. It's just gonna be live. I really want to do live stream. These guys that get to do their live stream, man. I want to do it so bad. Go ahead and jump on that Patreon. Support brothers on there. Also, you can donate via PayPal, whatever the case may be. Don't worry if it's $1, $2, $50. Feel, don't worry about it. It's not about the money. Go ahead and check out that Bandcamp. There's music on there. If you want, whatever you need to do. Alright, so let's get started. I want to shout out my brother Khalid. Just spoke to this brother. Lives in Phoenix. I'm heading out to Phoenix now. We're going to grab some food again. I implore brothers to get together. You understand? Shout out to my other brother DeMarco. I'm going to get with you too, brother. When I get back around. Not really also. Topic is of this discussion. But the topic is going to SDE. and entertainment. Like, what does that mean? Is that when I'm talking about Cameron's second album? I'm talking about sport, drugs, and entertainment. When I talk about sports, drugs, and entertainment, I mean the only black people that we look up to, your children look up to, are those that have to do with sports, drugs, or entertainment. That is the extent of things. So, even though a small percentage of these people in sports, drugs, and entertainment actually become truly successful, of black people pursuing the same three avenues in search of fame, stardom, riches, wealth, all that good stuff. Pretty much holding our people in a state of decline, especially our children. Let's start with I'm not gonna say I don't. I'm an avid basketball fan. I've been a fan since a kid. Even though the NBA is not the same as what it used to be, and it never will, I still watch the game. Mostly highlights. I don't really sit around and watch a full game of basketball. I don't like how it's played nowadays, so I just go watch. We've been idolizing the Michael Jordans, the Allen Iversons, the LeBron Jameses, the whoever and who else. The Michael Sanders, Bo Jacksons, whoever you can look and think was a great player, Darryl Strawberry, anyone. Football, Lawrence Taylor, Joe Montana, whoever you think is now someone that you like, we were always gunned at sport with kids. We was always playing ball, playing football, playing baseball. That's what we did. It wasn't much to do. It was a good way to respect. You know what I mean? If you could play some ball, respected you. You know what I mean? People respected what you was about. If you could play football, you get admiration from your classmates in school. People just meant something to everybody. And what I come to find out, black people need to expand their horizons. Enough people playing basketball, we have enough people playing. And as we get older, we realize that just use these men like slaves, They're high-paid slaves. They own the leagues, they don't own the teams, they don't own the sneakers except for Lonzo Ball. They don't own pretty much anything. Their name, their brand. Even in the NFL, we see that levels of racism in NFL sports. Mentality that is quickly balled from the NFL. And we continue to support a league, not support us. We just want us to entertain them on the gridiron, on the basketball court, square circle, boxing. First, they go through financial issues, drama, jail, things like that. We never think of it as somewhat a hindrance to us as a people. That we have all these athletes, we have all this money and riches being circulated amongst all these athletes, but no money comes back. I mean, it's little organizations, and, no schools, no hospitals. It's just money spent on bars and things like that. We wonder why black people, we never utilize these opportunities. You know, and we look at it where these men, it's kind of like in that movie Django, or Django. What I think that's is what making the two black men fight. That's basically, you know, entertainers. We don't want to hear about your political stance or your ideologies on. Yeah. It's like that white newscaster to playing basketball. You know, when he spoke up that concerned him. Stick to bouncing the ball. That's all we care about. We don't care about what you got in your head. And yet we keep, you know, funneling our children into these basketball camps instead of science camps, instead of space camp, instead of anything else. We funnel our children into basketball and baseball. We continue to pump their brains up with this ideology that they can one day be a professional athlete, even though these leagues, it's like such a small percentage of men that actually, you know, we have these single mothers that, you know, so quick to throw their sons into basketball, football, how, you know, don't try to sons in, be a doctor. Instead of jumping out the window for, you know, they don't care. They can actually make it a back they can live on. You know, the NBA is definitely caters to the single mother. They love to tell you how an athlete did. Buys mom a house. They love pumping that story because back in the 60s, you had athletes like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali, you had Jim Brown, among others, and these men would begin to speak out. They would use their name, they would use their name to bring attention to things that were troublesome in the black community. You know what I mean? And I, you know, converting to Islam, the same as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know, and Jim Brown. These guys spoke out in a political sense. And these were men that came from a certain background, a different breed of black men. So now, sports wants to tell you about all these young men who came without any father. So a lot of them have no agenda other than to play ball, make a good teammate, be a good employee. When to say that these athletes, especially in the NBA, if they really wanted to start their own league, I mean, how hard could it be? You know, how hard could it be? People will watch you guys basketball. You know, you guys go to the Drew League and the places people are falling. LeBron James play with regular dudes. All of that money, you guys didn't save up enough money. You're not even thinking about empowerment. NBA, man, and how it had their softness, their lack of durability, their lack of mental toughness, and a lot of these players don't play competitive ball. They want the rules so loose, where the game is no defense anymore, no contact, and everybody wants to call and play this soft way of basketball. And at the end of the day, the game loses a lot of its personality. It's all about players scoring 135 points because they don't want to play hard. They want to jump on a good team and get an easy ring. They don't want to be real rivals. And if you lose that year, you stick to your team and you go back and you toughen out and you train and you try to come back the next year. And these guys don't. like a woman. They don't want to push themselves to the limit if they lose. They don't want to be losers. You know, they're part of these second place trophy. You know, talented. They want to be the guys that lose. You don't want to, you know, be and have to bounce back the next year. No. You know? And we want to throw our kids into the melting pot when it's ultimately stealing our children from other. A detriment to black people. You know, they want to portray these men as Curry. These kids can't name one doctor. These kids can't name one powerful lawyer or one. They can't name one engineer. They can't name people that deal with, you know, other than Neil deGrasse Tyson. And they have no interest in finance. All they want to do is be the kid who can run the fastest in the combine, who can play the best at the AAU camp, training camp. That's all they want to do. They want to be strong in body, weak in mind. Again, these women are breeding these bucks. They're just physically strong, mentally weak. They don't have ability the situation, and even though they don't think to, why can't we own our own league? Why can't we take this and monetize it for ourselves? Why do we have to play white men and white people? Why can't we play for ourselves? Make the money for ourselves. Other than Ice Cube, you know what I mean? Why can't Ice Cube get NBA players to say,
welcome to a brand new episode of 2K
let's all
TV,
put some money up where it doesn't have to be a big three.
2K22,
It could be
we've had a chance to explore, but now it's time to get to work.
You know what I
This
mean?
week we're diving in with tips and insight to help you
What's
make
up
the
with that?
most out of your game. So
You know,
let's
we used to
talk
play a
about
lot of ball back
seasons.
in the day.
Last year
You
we
always
introduced
notice every
seasons
hood,
exclusively
every
in my
impoverished
team,
neighborhood,
but in
there's a
NBA
basketball court
2K22,
somewhere.
we've also brought
Even in
seasons
my
to
hood,
my career and the
basketball court
W.
used to get shot
Here's a
up.
closer look.
You know, and I'm going to tell you how all these tie together, because the basketball court was where all the drug dealers were. And that's why I want to talk. The only people our kids look up to are people that are addicts, drug dealers, or people that portray drug dealers and advocate the lifestyle and the music. You know, the Rick Rosses and whoever, the Little Pumps that want to talk about drinking lean and, you know, these guys that want to tell your kids it's okay and be a hustler. Even though ultimately, because in the streets there's no way out. It's only a grave or a step. You know, when we came up, or when I came up back in New York, a lot of guys, and I always say this, a lot of guys are getting a lot of money. A lot of guys in my family, they're pushing, you know, exotic cars, they had a lot of jewelry, you know, fast money, but they were dealing in a lot of violence, a lot of death. A lot of their time was lost to jail. Up in an early grave. Didn't even make it to their 30s. They're just people that we talk about in legend 25, 30 years ago. But these men are washed up, standing on the corner still, or they're doing a light bid. Just regular, working a regular job, but all that money's gone. What happened to all that money? What happened to all those millions of dollars and hundreds of dollars that you guys spent Ferraris and rims and Benzes and motorcycles and scooters, fly vacation, you know, where'd all that money go? Because I remember in my family, a lot of the guys, anybody getting any college funds, getting a free ride to school, getting cars. when we got our licenses. None of that. We just got to watch these guys. And then we got to sit there these dudes now because you dudes are, oh, you didn't die, you didn't go to jail. Now I got to look up to you because you some type of OG. You OG? How you an OG? And now you got nothing? Because you used to hustle back, but you never got caught. I'm supposed to care? Or you did 15 years? What you do for me? What you built in my neighborhood that makes a difference? What money did you set aside for some kids to go to school? Nothing. They come back home from jail and they want you to respect them. And these kids look up to these Rick Ross and all these suckers. Portray a street life that they haven't touched in decades. You understand? $1 million, but you still want to rap about how you hustle? You sound like an idiot. Why would you still be talking about drugs? And how you got weed, you got weight in the street, and you got chickens in the street, and birds, bricks, and you toting a stick, and you kill it, and you got this young boy to do your dirt. My young boy will kill you, and if I give him the word. You know, this is shit they talk about. They want to make it seem like they so connected to the street. Yeah, you might be connected to friends in the hood and shit like that, but it just doesn't make sense. They're idolizing rappers. Don't tell your kids shit. All about drugs. All we care about is the hustler. We care about is getting high. How much liquor we gonna drink? How much weed we gonna smoke? How many pills you gonna pop? How much Molly you gonna have? You know, you see these people in the bars doing coke. People doing coke. People right now, 2018, doing coke, still smoking 20, 30 years, still smoking crack, heroin, you know, still sniffing and breaking up pills and snorting pills, Percocets and all that shit, sipping lean, heroin, and opioids and shit like that. We still got people still talking about that. Doing that. You know what I'm saying? In 2018. And these are the people you kids. Because this guy's out a new car, he got a big chain. He see you working. And ain't no father to keep her from the streets. The mom is at work all day because she ain't need nobody to protect her or earn or provide. So she got to work 2 or 3 jobs. So her kid is free to and do whatever, just like I was. And they wonder why their kids end up in prison or in a gang or dead. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about our kids. Nobody cares what they do. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. Kids shouldn't have to be home by themselves. Like how we used to be home by ourselves. All night, all day. You know what I mean? No supervision. Kids shouldn't be home. There should be no reason. Kids should be home with at least a mom. At least a father at home. If the mom is gone, somebody should be home. Or y'all all together. Your kids should never have to be by themselves. Where your daughter could sneak boys in the house. You know, I'm going a little off topic, but, you know, it should never be like that. There should always be somebody home. We shouldn't even have to really send our kids to school. You see what I mean? Our own kids, but again, our women don't need to want to do it on their own, you know? They don't need men. They want to, you know, they want to provide for themselves. So instead, we got to send our kids to public school. They get indoctrination, 12-year indoctrination. Skills. They learn how to work. They learn how to work for somebody. Never had an aspiration to own nothing other than a corner to sell drugs. Twisted how it is with us. These are the people we look up to, addicts, dealers. Back in the day, we used to say, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? You either a hustler or you the customer. Which one is it? Just sitting there watching, they the customer. Whatever he's selling. Kids out here doing lean. They see people smoking weed. They want to smoke weed and get high because they see it on TV. You know what I mean? I don't knock people who smoke weed. People who smoke weed don't like me. If you ain't hustling it, if you ain't selling it, piss test. I never understood it. Never was for me. Never could really smoke. It wasn't for me mentally. See the point. And then and it's so expensive to me, I was just like, why would you even do that? But man, like, see, the media believes that all we care about is sports, entertainment, which is our music, and our Nicki Minaj's, B and her divorce from her wet Nicki Minaj, whoever on reality TV, these people. Reality TV would be a thing if people didn't want to do it. Women that consider themselves famous have some sort of fame, and people that support them just for being and making a, you know, it's so easy to distract us with gossip. You know, we hear everything they tell us, we believe. Everything they tell us about whoever, we believe it. Kanye do what? That's all people want to talk about. Dedicate, worrying about what other people do. Rich people. Like, when do people finally get to the point where you think like an individual? Completely, your life has to be completely and immersed in entertainment, in Facebook, in Instagram, and what people are telling you, and gossip, business all day. Is that really what it is? People are so afraid to live in the reality and the solitude of their own minds. They have to stay constantly distracted. You have to stay in a constant state of distraction because you don't want to live within the confines of your own mind and your own consciousness and deal with your own. People want to hide from it. Nobody wants to deal with what's waiting when you close your eyes and sit in the dark. Nobody does. All people want to do is hide from their very own realities. Whether it be with sports, drugs, entertainment. You know, people don't want that feeling. That feeling of maybe regret. Or that feeling of failure. Thinking. You start reflecting. And you start thinking about things that got you where you are in life. You know, a lot of people want to stay distracted from reality. The reality of your life. People roll a phone. As soon as you get to a Facebook for 10 seconds until the light changes. Just to get immersed in somebody else's life. Because you don't want to deal with your own life. You don't want to deal with your own mistakes. You don't want to deal with the things you know you need to not doing. You don't want to look in the mirror of your own mind. So you rather stare into a screen all day. Now don't get me wrong, a phone is useful, information, keeps you connected. But people are too connected. What's wrong with being off the grid? What's good? What's wrong with being where people can't find you? Somebody has to really find you. If they want to find you, they have to find you. What's wrong with that? Why does everything have to be instant access? You know, why is your kid 9 years old, 10 years old on social media? Dudes want to wonder why your daughter's out sleeping around and why she got access to the computer and they can text. She can get on a dating site and change her name, deal with some type of rapist or pedophile. Back when I was in, if you didn't have a phone, you couldn't just be talking to anybody on the phone. I mad times my mom pick up the phone, hang that phone up, I don't care who I'm talking to. My mom was listening on phone calls, talking to shit like that. There's no you can't monitor children. You're giving all of the freedom to kids to be on their cell phone talking all night, to be on their cell phone talking to people in sexual manners, sending sexual photos. Young girls already sending twerk videos and naked pictures of boys in middle school and high school. Because you're so avid to keep your kids entertained. So you won't have to sit them down. Being that these kids most likely don't sit in front of the table like a family and eat dinner, you know, because the mom's never there. Mom is working. McDonald's for dinner. And KFC and Popeyes. Because they don't got nothing else to eat. You know, because your parents don't want to talk to your children. You don't want to sit down and ask them what's clicking in their brain. Dudes is finding out, families, mothers is finding out their kids are sexually active when they're pregnant, or when their son has gotten somebody pregnant. That's when you find out your daughter's sexually active? When she has a kid? Because you paid so little attention to her, and you let her have all this access to all these boys, that now you have to deal with the fact that your daughter, that you bought her to go hook up with somebody. Entertainment. You want to keep off your, so you can sit on your phone and scroll away. So you can sit and watch your TV and watch TV till your life just dwindles away, and let all that bullshit get in your head and all that subliminal subconscious programming get in your mind, all that bullshit telling you what to think, what to eat. Black people don't have the liberty or the luxury to be like that. We don't have the luxury to be caught up in all of these fake, synthetic comas into ourselves. We don't have the luxury, man. We don't have the luxury to be siphoning and shaping all our kids just to be athletes and rappers. You got grown men in their 30s, 40s, still trying to be a rapper. Still trying to rap. You don't feel embarrassed saying that you rap? You don't feel embarrassed telling people that you're an MC? I used to be an MC, and I'm nice. I always was nice. I was always exceptionally good at rapping and making music. It just was something I was good at. I done did some dope shit with music, man. I done been psyched Jizza, held my own, freestyle, all type of shit. Battled Most Def like in Atlanta like 15 years ago. I was always exceptional at hip hop. But after a while, I seen the message that they was putting out. They wanted the game to go, and I felt like as a man, I couldn't waste any more time in something like that. when for you to really be truly successful, you got to be a sellout. You got to be someone who tells your people it's okay to kill and murder, and be a drug dealer, and destroy yourself. And I just couldn't do it no more. For real. And it's sad when you think about it, man. Like, dudes really like rap. Ain't no money in that shit no more. Own it. We don't even distribution of our music or nothing. Like, we literally don't own nothing to do with an art form that we created. We have no what type of message gets put out. We have no say in how our finances are distributed, how we make our money. None. We have no control over the music that we put out, that we created. That's as far as black people are concerned, you know? You think it's a tragedy? We thought to start their own league. You know, they pump materialism on us, so to get some money, we don't feel no with giving it right back. You know, we make some money, we want to spend some money, we want to buy the new sneakers. We make some money, we want to get the expensive crib, not a house. We want to give it right back. We get some money, we want to go right to the corner store, spend all our money in the store that takes money and leaves. The ALWJ store, Chinese restaurant. How we don't own these things? How do we create a culture of fashion, but yet we don't even own clothing stores in our own neighborhoods? It's like, you know, that's in there selling you your own style. He's selling you your own style, but you created it. Isn't that crazy? You got Korean people, Saudi Arabian, and, you know, Arab dudes selling you clothes you don't even wear. They're selling you your style. You got Chinese people in the hood feeding you food that they don't even eat themselves. I haven't eaten Chinese food like a hood food store. I don't even deal with it. You don't even know what that shit is half the time. You know what I mean? Like, if I eat Chinese food, it's gonna be or something. I'm not even dealing with nothing less than that. People want to go to the hood Chinese store, feed your children. My mom used to buy us Chinese food all the time. We used to love that shit. Eat up all that fried shit, that fried rice, fried chicken, pork. We used to eat that shit up, man. Eat it up. And it's like, you know, nutrition is not an issue, because in our we're told that, you know, we're supposed to live for the moment, you know. Ball out, steak and lobster. Ball out, you gotta get a bottle of Henny on a Friday, man. What you doing, man? You're supposed to have some Henny, man. Why you ain't got no Henny? Somewhere. Why you ain't somewhere? You ain't got no weed, it's Friday. You ain't in the A the Puerto Rican liquor. You ain't giving them no money for liquor on Friday. Come on, baby, you gotta spend that. You supposed to live it up. You supposed to be partying, baby. Why you? Why are you doing that? Do you even drink? Maybe because your whole family's alcoholics, and alcohol is passed down to you because you grew up around alcoholics and weed users and drug dealers and crackheads. Weed. Do you even know why? enlightening your mind, or you do it because your mom used to smoke weed, or your uncle, or the cats in the neighborhood, you want to feel cool. You know what I mean? I remember I used to feel funny because I couldn't roll a blunt. Insecure, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. This is our culture. Like, we just sit around and we do what people tell us to do. And it's fucked up because all we doing is destroying ourselves. Everybody else is living peachy off our destruction. They living peachy because they figure, shit, if we could get most of these black boys to want to go play basketball and football, shit, they not going to be studying engineering. You know what I mean? Shit, if you sitting around trying to figure out how to be in the NBA, shit, when you going to be trying to study for a doctorate? Shit, you don't want to be no doctor. Go and shoot them layups, man. Get that layup line going. Get that left hand strong. You know, that's what we do. That's all we want to do. We just want to and all that bullshit, you know? This is kind of me ranting at this point, man. I don't know. I just felt like talking about that because that's something that just bugs me, you know? Kids, these girls want to show their kids, oh, my son's in basketball camp, my son's in football camp, and da-da-da-da. It's like, what else can he do? Can he read? What's his reading level? You know? What else can he do besides that? But yeah, like, this is like our culture. Our culture is determined by people who poison us mentally. Teach us how to destroy ourselves with chemicals. It's like, you want to drink because Puff Daddy says it's cool? Because Puff Daddy wants to dress up in the three-piece suit and make it look like something luxurious to be an alcoholic? Celebrate the good times, Ciroc. People talk about Ciroc like it's some exclusive shit. That cheap ass shit. Still gonna make you throw up if you drink too much. I don't even like being drunk no more, man. I might have a little social drink every once in a while, but that shit is rare, man. I might have a little beer. I can't even fuck with cheap ass shit. I gotta drink like some good shit, like some IPA, like, you know, something official. Like, I can't just sit around fucking knocking back Miller Lights and shit like that. I just never, it just ain't in me no more, man. Sitting around I can't remember the last time I bought a bottle. Honest shit. I can't remember the last time I was in a liquor store. Like, I don't. Last time I went in a liquor store and bought a bottle of liquor, I cannot remember. Literally. Weed, that shit was like 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like college. You know, and I ain't better than nobody that drink. Don't get it fucked up. You drink, you drink. You know, everything in moderation, of course. But it's like, why do we drink? You know, are you trying to ease something? Are you trying to, you know, are you trying to hide something? Are you trying to drown out something? You know? I've gotten comfortable with my pain. I've gotten comfortable with my demons. I invite my demons to dinner, and we talk, and we get familiar. And even some of us have become friends. I made peace with my demons. I don't try to drown them and feed them with liquor. You know, I've seen dudes get drunk and start rambling about shit that happened years ago that they still feeling the brunt and the guilt of, and crying and shit. Because the liquor exposes your soul, you know? It takes off that mask that we try to put on and cover our truths with our consciousness. So then you say, you know, someone's drunk, they're honest. Because their mind isn't quick enough to lie. It's drowning, it's slow, it's warped. So you can't be clever enough to tell a lie because your mind is drunk. It can only tell the truth. Your emotional truth. Things you say. It's a trip, man. It's a trip what people do to mask their pain. You know, like I said, we sit on the phone and we go on Facebook, scrolling away at someone else's life. So you can see if someone's life is worse than yours. You're having a bad day. And people will tell you all type of shit on Facebook. That's why I stopped fucking with that shit, man. You know, people on there to the point where they're making up shit just to get people to say congratulations. You know what I mean? Lying. Lying about succeeding at something so people can say, good job, good job. You just want some false praise. You make up some crazy problem that you just make up so people will feel like, oh, give you some sympathy. Be strong, you got this. Sick times, man. You know, these athletes, they're so soft, man. You know? Look at Kevin Durant, man. His mom emasculates him on TV. You know, he wins a championship, his mom, or whatever he did. His mom, like, grabbed his beard and pulled his face like a 5-year-old on camera so she can get some light. She's in here beefing with Stephen A. Smith. She wants to get the camera. She wants some shine, too. You can't just be the star. Mama got to shine. If it wasn't for Mama being the MVP, boy, you wouldn't be here. Yeah? But it's really those dudes who is taking you to the park, make you practice your left hand. Those AAU coaches. I was picking your broke ass up and taking you to the play ball. Your mom couldn't afford that shit. But it's, oh, I got to get on camera too. Come on, baby, let me get on camera. I got to talk to Stephen A. I got to get on ESPN and tell Stephen A. Smith how I feel about him saying you was a sucker for going to a fucking championship team with the best regular season record ever in basketball. Instead of being a man like Jordan and going and taking that loss and coming back the next year trying to win. That's the difference, man. You can't never say none of these dudes is better than Jordan. You can't. You can't. Jordan had heart. On top of the skill and the work ethic, Jordan still played hard. Jordan still played defense like it was offense. Jordan still went up against the hard teams back in the day, the Celtics, the Pistons, the Knicks, the Pacers, the Lakers, and get his ass beat the whole time, but still be a dominant player. You know what I mean? Come on, man. LeBron is good, but LeBron ain't no Jordan. I don't care what he did. Closest thing to Jordan we got is Kobe. Because Kobe actually had that killer instinct. Kobe had the competitive nature on top of the similarities in the game, but he had the mentality of it. And Jordan just had it a little more. That's why he won more. But Kobe still won like 5 rings. You know? Jordan won like 6, so Kobe's like right there. And he left on a better note. You know what I'm saying? Jordan left when he shouldn't have been playing no more. Kobe left when he wasn't as good, but he still dropped 60 his last game and left on a high note. So can we argue that the only person you can say is close to Michael Jordan is Kobe Bryant? I don't want to hear about LeBron. I like LeBron, but he's nowhere near Jordan mentality. You understand? He didn't have that dog in him when he was on them teams to be able to pull them out of the losing situation. LeBron actually mentally quit a couple of times, and you saw it. He doesn't have the heart, man. You know what I mean? You know what the difference between Kobe and Jordan and LeBron is that Kobe and Jordan grew up with strong men in the household that took the time to teach them how to be men and how to be competitive and how to fight and how to work hard. LeBron didn't get that. Look at LeBron's mother. He's a fucking ass. Ex-crackhead, fucking his teammates, sleeping around, with younger dudes that just want to be rappers. I'm doing, like, that's why LeBron extra chamber, because his mom. That's why KD doesn't have that heart that would make him say, I'm going to stay on OKC and we're going to fight the Golden State Warriors every year until we beat them. We're not going to go out like that. 3-1 lead, and then we end up losing and not go to that team the next year. That's sucker shit. That's because you like your moms. You think like a woman. You want to go around. We don't got no heart, man. I can't even watch the NBA no more. I can't. The culture of black people is starting to affect everything. The lack of knowledge and wisdom passed down to children is why we got rap the way it is now. A bunch of kids that can't even hardly speak. They don't even have the ability to properly conduct themselves in music. They can't even speak in an interview. They're slow. They have no knowledge of self, no wisdom, nothing. That culture is starting to affect all of these things. Now these kids is doing hard drugs, younger and younger and younger, strung out, burnt out, pilled out, going to rehab, thinking it's cool. This mentality is starting to affect us in every aspect. Now look at entertainment. We barely have any strong images on TV, film, whatsoever. Barely. We don't have anything. Black people went and got behind Black Panther to damn near four. Telling me black people can't stand on their own financially, but we don't have any grocery stores in our neighborhood. We don't have any stores that feed us. Basic things. You want to rely on other cultures to feed you and clothe you? We want to rent apartments for our whole life and live in the projects, but we can spend $4 billion on a fantasy movie about a made-up character in a made-up place? But these kids probably can't name nobody from the Civil Rights Movement, nobody from the Black Panthers, but they know Wakanda forever. Some fake shit. Isn't that crazy? It's the culture. It's dead. We have no images on entertainment. We got like Tiffany Haddish playing the ghetto hood rat. Give her all the money in the world to be a fucking hood rat and embarrass herself and make her go back 10 years. And everybody gets mad when we call it out. We got Kevin Hart being put at the top of the world for being a weak, crybaby, scaredy cat. Masculinity whatsoever. Putting on drugs and shit. And then gets kicked off the Oscars for making... Motherfucker, what you thought was going to happen like that? Nobody to listen to. Nobody the kids can say, I want a person. But the person... They put there for a reason. Motherfuckers ain't funny like that. They're not entertaining like that. They're not talented like that. These rappers aren't talented like that. All these talented MCs out there, and all you can find is these little mumble mouth retards to make music and put on a pedestal, and they got 400 million views and shit like that. Tekashi 6ix9ine and all that clown shit. But nobody wants to sign a rapper that really has something to say. And your music doesn't influence kids. Music doesn't mean nothing. Man. All those things go together. It's the only thing that black people got. It's the only thing they aspire to have. To entertain. To be high. Drunk. To mask the pain and the reality of being black in this world. In this hell ground that we call America. We have to stay drunk and high so we don't deal with the reality of what we live every day. Shit is crazy. We want to sit there and worry about Cardi B and all these entertainers who ain't about shit. Cardi B teaches the girl to be a slut. Look, a slut can still get married. A whore, a stripper, can still get married. Don't give a fuck about nothing. How you a married woman? I've seen your breasts multiple times in multiple videos. It's crazy. These athletes is all suckers and simps and weak. Future got your kids thinking it's cool to have 8, 9 kids and be on drugs all the time. Come on, man. Sports, drugs, and entertainment, man. The downfall of our people. It's literally handicapping us. Literally. Look who your kids look up to. Your kids don't look up to you. And you're their parents. They don't even look up to you. They don't look up to you. You're the parent. You put the food on the table. And your daughter looks up to Cardi B. She looks up to Nicki Minaj. Telling her all nasty ass sex shit all day. Putting the idea of sex kind of. Then you got the internet to. Your kids don't even know these rappers tell them what they are. Percocets and Molly and all that. You shit till a rapper talks about it. Then all of a sudden it's shit now. Everybody wants to be on drugs now. It's as a rapper says. It's like having kids. You fucked. How are you gonna guard this? How are you gonna the innocence of a child in a world that tells them to be sexual and be a killer, just like these rappers tell your son to keep body and hold a stick and bust a Draco and all that. Your kids know all the NFL stats and all the NBA, but they don't know shit about math and algebra and calculus, engineering and science and English. Can't even write. Go to college and flunk out. Your daughter go to college and locked up. No aspiration to be anything great with your mind. You have no aspiration to pursue the faculty of intelligence. They don't. Your son hurt playing basketball. He doesn't even know what to do with his life. A warehouse somewhere. A man is not going to allow his son knows that you can't survive being one-dimensional. You can't survive being a man of one hat. One way to make money or one thing that you're good at. Only a man can understand. You can't just play basketball, son. You gotta have something else. You gotta be great at multiple things. Because your mind might change one day. You might want to play basketball. Or you may not physically be able to play basketball. But they don't tell him that. Nope. When their son gets hurt in college, now he has to come back home and sleep on your couch. Because he lost his scholarship. Because he didn't take care of his grades. He couldn't read, could barely write his name, so he couldn't do the schoolwork. The academic scholarship? Nah, no. We don't do academic scholarship. We love it. We love every minute of it. Sports, drugs, entertainment, baby. That's all black people care about. That's all you care about. That's all you ever gave a fuck about. And now we're starting to realize that we are behind because we don't do that. The mentality, the education that'll lead you somewhere with your mind. worrying about how high you can jump, or fast you can run, or how football, or how you know, how good your jump shot is. This shit's gotta stop, man. Every rapper, oh, what you used to do before rap? Oh man, I was in the street. I used to drug, I was in the drug game before. Were you really? I don't think you were. I don't think you were, bro. If you was really in the streets, you wouldn't be rapping about it at all. I don't think so. 99.9% of rappers that come out all sold drugs. All of you, nobody went to college, nobody worked a regular job. None of you guys, all of you guys were in your neighborhood that nobody ever heard of. But you rapping, and here you go, telling your life story. Entertainment, man. Drugs, excuse me, sports, drugs, entertainment, but you can throw this in there too. You know what I mean? And I'm going to shout out my man Khalid. And he told me something. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, people lost the ability to understand mating, business, and warfare. That's what was stripped from us. And those are the three things that keep us held back. Those are the things that keep us from being anything in any competitive light on an international, worldwide scale. Yes, indeed. Those three handicaps. Video's long enough, man. I did one, and I have some more thoughts, so I'm gonna attach the two. But you know what I'm getting at. Man's Templar. Don't forget to subscribe, man. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like the video. It doesn't take any time to like it. Hit the Patreon, hit the donate button, leave your comments, man. I fuck with you guys. I love you. It's the Thinking Man's Templar. Be safe out there, man, and cover your signs. Peace. Great God, what up, baby? Sleeping Giant, what's up, baby? What's up? Sleeping Giant, thank you. Let me
Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers. Minds of the people we are trying to save. Until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them enemy. You have to understand, most of them are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are endlessly dependent on the system that they will. Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? This isn't the Matrix. No. It's another training program designed to teach you what. If you are not one of us, you are one of sentient programs. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent. Inside them, they are everyone, and they are no one.
Welcome to the Thinking Man's Temple, the place where we say one red pill life, followed way, billion blue pill lives, and when the soldiers all remove their armor, drop their soul conversations with like-minded men and indeed